What's up, everybody? Today, heading up to northern Michigan, pick up a load from the auction, and I think we got some pretty nice goodies, so stay tuned. I will get some video of all that, and then we'll get some video when we get home and get to play with all the stuff. So all right, we're all loaded up. Stop and get some fuel, and we got them all on there. A nice 4-hour drive all the way back to the house, but that's all right. At least it's nice up here in Michigan. We got the 4 excavators, this little golf cart thing, and these 2 little scooter things. But when I get home, you'll get to see us play with them, so don't worry. All right, well, just pulled back in the driveway, so that was a good 7.5, 8-hour run. I don't think I'm gonna mess with any of this stuff tonight, so I will see you guys in the morning, and we will unload and play with all these goodies. Well, good morning, everybody. It's the fun part of the video where we get to play with all of the cool stuff that we spent tons of money on. Now, we did run into some issues on this haul. The new one here, which is the biggest one we've had yet, doesn't start, and the one over there doesn't start. They both turn over, but they won't fire. So yeah, so we got that fun to play with. So I'm gonna get the main fuse swapped out on this yellow one, this 18, and then we will try and get it to fire up. So I don't know what's going on with it, if it's got something unplugged or something's faulty on them. We haven't had any that just don't start, but it's common for these things to have little mishaps and issues. I'm just glad we were at a yard where they were able to still load me the way I needed loaded without driving them. So, but quick overview on this thing. It's pretty sweet. So this is 18. It's still a gas engine, runs the same motor as all these do, the 420cc. This I'm pretty sure. Let me double check that. Yep, that looks like a 420cc. Is it? Maybe. I don't know. We'll look at that later. But this one comes with a hydraulic thumb on it, which is kind of nice. It also has a auxiliary whatchamadinger hydraulic cooler on it. So when you buy one, essentially what you want to do is you want to get it home, you want to change all your fluids out on it, you want to change your engine oil out on it, so you know, all hydraulic fluids out. It's just got shipping oil in it, so you definitely want to get all that swapped out. Engine oil swapped out, do an oil change, do a hydraulic fluid change, buy you some I think it's an AEWG 46 or something 46, comes in a 5-gallon tub bucket. Figure out how much you need. I don't know, I'm sure, I could be wrong, but I'm sure like this 18 probably takes more than the 12, but that's just a guess. I have not worked on one of these 18s yet, so that's gonna be new territory. Pretty excited though. I mean, it is a bigger machine. Like, you've got that big, and you got that big. Oh yeah, look, it's like a whole thumb. It's like a whole thumb bigger in a camera. That's huge. It's a lot heavier. When they put this on the trailer, there's some more weight. It's either bigger counterweight or overall it's just got a bigger frame. But I mean, look at the size of the blade on this thing. That's pretty thick on there. So that's huge. So it'd be kind of nice to see. It might have more pumps too. Some of them just run like a single or double pump setup. Some of them run a triple pump setup. So it could just have more pumps. So that way it's still running off the smaller engine, but can do more. Let's see if they got up here. Oh yeah, they did. So they put in the thumb, they put in the split piece there, so you can still run like an auger or something without removing the thumb. So that's kind of nice. And yeah, these little blue ones here. Oh, what's up, kitty? You come to say hi? Yeah. I know, I didn't touch you yesterday, I was gone. These little blue ones here are just like the little yellow ones we got last time. The controls are a little different than what we got last time. There's no pedals on these, so you've got your auxiliary and your blade on sticks. But other than that, they're still about the same. The two 12RXs, one's here and one's tucked back there. Those I did fire up and run and operated very smoothly. So I forget what the model was on that yellow one in the last video, but that one was a little jerky. But these run pretty smooth, or maybe it's just the blue ones run smooth. I don't know. I don't know the definitions and all these lines and numbers and all that, so they'll just kind of seem to be a different control setup configuration with a different number attached to it, but they're the same thing. So yeah, those got a little close there, but you'll have that. I wasn't able to swing this in like I wanted to, because when they come get delivered to the yards, the booms are always like cocked out like 20 degrees. So that's why I like firing them up, so I can straighten them up so they're not hanging over the trailer, or in this case trying to run into another machine. They pretty much got to be straight here. I don't have much room to play. I knew the 12s would all fit. You can kind of see the gap up there on those two, but yeah, definitely, I don't know, we might be able to get 218s side by side, but it would have to be, they would have to run and it would be tight. So other than that, I'm going to get this one unloaded because that one runs, and then I'm going to get this mess unstrapped and start working on the two that don't run, because I need to get this trailer back. It's not mine. Mine is over yonder there, broken, as I'm sure you saw in Devin's video when we brought his truck back. My trailer lost 4 out of 5 lug nuts, so tore up a wheel and tore up some studs. So those are coming in the mail. Ain't no big deal, we'll get that fixed up. But yeah, so that one's down, and not to mention it can't take the weight like this one can. So if you're gonna be hauling a bunch of these, make sure you get a good trailer. We're looking to upgrade trailers. I want to get a gooseneck for moving this kind of equipment, so we can haul more and haul it safer. I mean, this is a 10,000 pound trailer. It did great. Make sure your loads are positioned properly, but it did great. So the truck did good too. It did better. It's freaking one ton. We got this little dude here though, so they call this a mini golf cart. At least that's what it's listed as. But I'll tell you what, I haven't rode this thing much, but at the yard they brought it up and this yard was swamped out. There's probably a foot of mud, like the kind of mud where you step in it and you step out of your boots. And they were driving this thing, just baja-ing it, no problems. Didn't get stuck, nothing. So pretty interested to check it out and see what all it can do. So that'll be fun. Alright, we got this little dude off. This thing comes with key fob. We got here, lock, unlock. Ooh. Got some storage back here. It's our charger plug. Let's check this guy out. Can't do it, but too good. There we go. What's in there? Box of Chinese babies? I sure hope not. That's probably our charger. That thing's huge. I don't know I need to look up. I don't know the specs on this thing, like how far it can go. We got a little shipping damage too. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to clean some of that up. I don't think nothing's broken. This is broken. I'm gonna have to remount this, our display, but that's not the end of the world. And it comes with an extra plug. Everything worked on it. You got a screw out there. Got some gibberish. Phew, man. Did a number on it, I guess. Let's tighten that mirror back up. Maybe. I don't think it can get tight enough. I think we're okay. Let's go in here. Let's see if we can. Well, I don't think we can go that way. Let's make sure it still lights up. Alright, what we got on here? Got. I wonder if we can change that out of kilometers. Track mileage. Oh, the brights are on. Are they? Oh, that's a horn. The turn signals beep. There we go, the brights are off. Everybody's gonna know you're coming a mile off. We've got a foot brake down here. Oh yeah, that's the e-brake. I imagine this is also, yeah, it's also the rear brake. Let's see here. This thing actually scoots out pretty good. Oh my goodness. Even crank it wide open. I think I'm gonna charge it, and then we'll take it down the road. See how fast it goes. Got a GPS on my phone that's not in kilometers. Just punch it right here. Oh man. Whew. Thing's fast. You can go to town on this thing. Good Lord. It's got some pretty awesome throttle response. Like, it's not jumpy at all. It's super smooth. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix this. So we can lock it and unlock it and set, I'm assuming, the alarm off. So you can lock this thing if someone tries to run off with it. They'll start screaming at them. You got a cup holder up here. You flip that up. You got a basket. You guys already saw the under storage. I'm assuming this is, yeah, this is probably access to the motors and the batteries. Let's see if we can. Oh, two-hand job. Oh, I'm wrong. That is storage with a bracket. Is that for back there in case you want to swap your trunk out? I don't know what that's for. Oh, we got a box. What's in this box? Oh, that's the charger. Oh, what's in the box to charge the babies? No, sir. I don't. It's bolted down. I don't know what that is. It feels heavy. Is that a battery? I don't know. I can't read these hieroglyphics. Well, it's not a battery, it's running. Where is the battery? Is the battery in the box? I think the battery is in the box. I see wires going down there. Has to be. There's nowhere else for the battery to be unless it's under the trunk. That's the motor. Yeah, the battery is definitely in the box. It didn't even take the battery out of the box. This is there's our smart computer. That's missing a screw. I'll tell you guys what. My short experience of buying miniature foreign equipment from overseas, the only thing you really need to be concerned about is you're gonna have to take the time to check every nut, bolt, hydraulic hose, line, everything, because there's gonna be something loose. The last 12 we had, I'll just use this one for reference, but Both of these were about finger tight. Who turned it on? They're just spraying everywhere. So you got to go through. And yeah, I marked them, you know, around. But yeah, in terms of quality control, there is no quality control. So check everything. Stickers, labels. We've had stickers telling you to turn the power shutoffs the wrong way. And if you buy equipment, buy miniature foreign equipment, if you have that power shut off on, your hour meter is going to run up. Whether the key's in it, on it, whatever, it does not matter. The hour meter is tied directly to the battery through the shut off. So if you're not shutting your power shut off every time, you're going to run up your hours. To some of you, that may not matter, especially if you're keeping it. But if you want accurate, if you want to be able to track the hours, first off, for maintenance, you need to change the fluids and everything every so often and do maintenance, and usually that's tracked through hours, like a car is through mileage. So you probably just want to make sure you're kicking that on and off. We have already messed up on the little skid steer you see in these videos. It's running about an hour and a half more than it actually ever has. So it's probably going to end up getting extra maintenance because we don't know the true. We were pretty close to where it's at, but it doesn't matter. We're just going to go off the gauge anyway. But yeah, so you got to watch that. So check everything, nuts, bolts, all of it. Grease fittings, head top to bottom. Because if you don't, I promise you something is loose and you're going to have a problem. Check your tracks, make sure they're in alignment. There's little things in there you can adjust to align them. A lot of people have track issues, these things walking off the tracks constantly. Well, it's because nobody ever adjusted the little wheel in there, the little dude from the factory. They just slapped it on. So there are issues outside of that where you may still have problems, but the good majority is just the quality control. So yeah, make sure you're checking everything. Check everything, change the fluids, change the oil, change the hydraulic oil, everything. If you can pull it off, do that before you even start the machine. A lot of times on these and the other hydraulic equipment, you're going to get a crap load of metal out of the hydraulic system or chunks of foreign material. It is not cleaned out. It's just kind of pumped in, apparently from an unfiltered source over there, and shipped. So I understand sometimes you may need to operate it to load and unload. Kind of is what it is. But drain it, get it all out of there. Some people put magnets in the tank. It's not a bad idea to collect the rest of the junk. There's going to be junk. You can't buy one of these and there not be junk. I mean, they're cheap machines, so you're going to have to do extra work. When you buy something cheap, you got to do more work to it. That's how it goes. If you don't want to do work to it, go buy a bigger machine or a nicer machine. That's going to cost a lot more than just changing the hydraulic fluid and the oil. Beyond that, they're pretty killer little machines. But you're going to have to do the due diligence of the quality control department. So just so you're aware, there's my little tangent. I'm going to go plug that in now because I want to do a road test on it. See if we can, in fact, get it up to 88 miles an hour and time travel back to 2012 and buy a bunch of Bitcoin. No, but I'd be happy with the 30. 30'd be killer. 30 means you could take it from here and go get you some McDonald's or something. 30 mile an hour and them skimpy little tires. I guess at least there's 3. I'll just need to wash it. Like I said, we were mud bogging out there. It is, the bottom of that is filthy. So we'll get it cleaned up and touched up. I did not plan on shipping that where it was hauled in the trailer, so that's why it got damaged the way it got damaged. But I also didn't plan on 2 of these machines to not run, so kind of is what it is. I could have scooted all of this up and bought me a little more space. Would have put a little more on the truck that way though, but it could have taken it. That would have bought me a little more room for that. I've actually wanted these to go back just a hair, and I wanted to squish that up here because I feel like it would ride safe and nice up here, and there's no booms to do this the whole way home on Michigan's lovely Third World War torn highways. So I'm gonna go plug that in. I'm gonna get the rest of this unloaded. Maybe I'll let you guys watch, and Yeah, we're gonna do a road test on that thing. And try not to get pulled over. Pretty sure you gotta have stuff to run those on the road. Maybe that's per city. I don't know. I don't do golf carts. I don't do mini golf carts. Oh, let me show you something else. These. Just zoom in here. These are the other things we got. These are also electric. They're like electric moped e-bike things. They got little seats and little back seats. Little foot pegs for your passengers. They're pretty sick. I have not ridden one of these yet, so I am also excited to play with those. I guess I should just unload these and plug these in too, because I'm going to want to do the same thing. You know, we want to top them out. Let you guys know what they're capable. Oh, I got excited there. Hold on. They come with freaking wheelie bars. Oh yeah. Well, now we know they're going to be fast. They got wheelie bars. You're gonna need the back passenger to do wheelies though. I about promise you. You need a hefty back passenger. You do all the wheelies. But they do have wheelie bars, which means they're fast. So they're ready to rip down the drag strip. But I'm gonna get the stuff unloaded and get it plugged in. Alright, we got a winner. Look at that light. Pretty freaking neat. Is this the right? Oh yeah. That's nice. This one's 4 out of 5 bars or something like that. It's got juice. So we're going to take this one on the test drive. It's even got little pedals. That's not a wheelie bar. I guess it's a kickstand that doubles as a wheelie bar. You got options. I wonder, I just need to find a way to attach the GoPro to the scooter. Alright, here's your view. Let's hope this works and I don't drop my GoPro on the ground. Let's go to level 3 power. See if we can get this to straighten out at all, maybe. Let's check the other one first. Got it. Alright, so that was that's pretty good. You know, it actually only lost 2 kilometers per hour going uphill with me on it. That's pretty good. Let's get it into the garage here, because we're still at full charge. Oh, nice. Oh no, we're racking up the mileage. All right, so got them charging. Now, if my math serves me correct, that means we were maxing out at about 27 miles an hour and about 25 miles an hour uphill. Now, downhill, it didn't really gain speed, so it seemed to just kind of, that was it. 27 is it. 27's pretty good for a little e-bike. It's got little pedals on there. I don't know if that'll charge it while you ride or not. I got to do some research. I bought these on a whim, but 27 mile an hour. If you got to get around campus, or if you want to go to an event, you could turn them down. They got 3 power settings, so you can turn them down so you're just cruising. If you're at like a event, you're at the racetrack, you're at the carnival, whatever, you go to the fair. They got turn signals, brake lights. I mean, I don't even think they need to be street legal. Maybe not here, they might in the cities, but they got all the stuff to be street legal. Got running lamps, awesome looking headlights. Not bad little units. We'll get them all charged up and see what we can make happen after that though. I got a nice flat stretch the other way, so we'll see if we top out there or not. So, but back to work, gotta quit playing. Got 3 more excavators to get off a trailer and only one of them runs. One other thing I didn't notice, it's got reverse. How neat. Okay, so the one of the 2 that didn't run decided to just fire up and run. I don't know if something got jostled on the way home, but it just started. So I don't know what that's all about, but it runs now and it runs good. This one is not just gonna fire because I know I popped the fuse. So from what I can tell, the battery is located under this fancy foot pad, so we're going to take that off, take this panel off, and try and get in there and find the fuse. I heard the pop come from this area, so I think I'm going in the right direction. When we get power back, maybe, just maybe, we'll get lucky and this one will just start also. Otherwise, I had all kinds of wires in there that aren't plugged in. I think they're auxiliaries for stuff. I think one is for another light, and there's buttons up on the sticks that have connections, but they don't do anything. I think it's so you can hook in momentaries stuff. They don't click. No, they're momentary. So if you want to put a horn in, or I don't know, a light that you can flash, beats me. But yeah, you got buttons on, and that's on all of them. They all have that, and I know where that wiring is. That's way back there, but yeah, I don't know what these other wires are. Doesn't look like there's a receiving end for anything, so I'm going to assume they're extras for now. Alright, so if you take the floor off, which is just like, I don't know, 6 bolts, and you reach your hand back in here, you can pull your little fuse dude out there. He's just hanging in there. Takes 20 on a big one. Hopefully, when I pop this back in here, alright, 20's back in, and now should. And now we still have no power. That's interesting. Wow. I wonder if that still killed the battery, being if that switch was flipped. Let's check this one more time. Sure it's in there all the way. Yeah, he's in there. We're gonna leave that up here on this side. That won't hurt nothing. Alright, that is exactly what happened. It blew it, and somehow the power still being on killed it, but didn't raise the thing. So we'll take that. Let's shoot this one crank. We're still locked out. Let's lock that out. Choke. Still just turning over. The other thing I could do is give it some spray, see if it fires, and determine if it's going to be a fuel problem or if we're just not getting spark. Well, it popped off, so I get just a little more spray. So it's a fuel problem. Okay, we have figured it out. So I thought it was a bad shutoff because we were spraying it and it was firing, but we were getting fuel, obviously not through. So I cracked the drain open on the bowl, and a bunch of fuel came out. Well, that means our shutoff's working. So I dropped the bowl, I sprayed everything out, put it back in, I filled it up, and it fired up. So apparently either the float was stuck or there was some junk in there that I just blew out, but popped right off. And now I gotta put this thing back together because it wasn't bad, but man, there's a lot. But yeah, so there you go. You gotta take off this lower panel to access the bowl. Really no other way in there to do it. But it's only 5 bolts, and 2 springs. It's got these springs inside the bolts. All right, so after a couple days of going through all the auction stuff, I mean, we got the excavators running. The golf cart here and the 2 little ride-on scooters we got there. That one was fine. This one had no power unless you plugged in the charger, and this one would charge for like 2 minutes and then shut off but only show half battery. And turns out this one has a little wire in the dash that you're supposed to either plug or unplug depending on the battery it has. So it was charged, but it was showing that it was only half charged and dying. So that little wire determines how the battery or how the display talks to the battery and tells you if it's charged or not. So we plugged in the wire and now it's fine. This one I tore all apart trying to figure out why we didn't have power, and it turns out there's like I think 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 batteries in there. And the last battery in the line that would connect to the motor, the wire was stretched too tight and snapped off the little eyelet connector. That's why we had no power. So we fixed that, and what do you know, it runs. So everything is now back in working order. But just to kind of let you guys know, when you get this stuff from the auction yard or a supplier, there's always a good chance like 50% of it's going to need some kind of work. So like with that excavator, that float being stuck in the bowl on the carburetor, and then these with their little issues, and just a heads up, because I do see a lot of them for sale that people say, like the excavators and the skid steers, they get them home and they won't run, they can't get them to start, they crank, no start, and then they're selling them and they're trying to get their money back, and they're losing money because nobody's going to buy a non-runner for the price you paid for a running one, because we know what they go for. So just kind of be aware of that. Look up some common issues, but it's never anything big. There's just like usually half the stuff or more always just has some kind of little issue. So just a heads up there if you're looking to buy stuff like this from the auction yards, that just, you know, go prepared. A lot of them will load you, but make sure you take a trailer that can be loaded with a forklift or a skid steer, because if it doesn't run and you can't get it up and they can't load it on your trailer because you got sides or whatever on it, could run into an issue there. Just be warned, be aware, or take some tools with you. I mean, knowing it now, I probably could have got that yellow one to fire up at the auction yard, but I was holding up the line, so I just told the guy to load it. I'm not going to sit there for 2 hours tearing the thing apart in a mud hole. So But that's going to be it on this one. Just wanted to give you guys a little update after I finally got time to go through and deal with everything. And yeah, it's all running. We're all good to go. We're out here bebopping around on electric scooters. These things are kind of fun. They all go 30 mile an hour, which is pretty quick. And them little scooters, the little ride-on, I guess e-bikes, they're not really scooters, e-bikes, but they go over 50. They have an over 50-mile range on them. Like, that's insane. This thing's got like well, with 2 adults, you're probably only going to get 30 miles, but it claims it has a 40-mile range if you're just one person on it, or maybe a couple small kids. So that's pretty wild. That's far. I could drive that to town like 7 times. But that's going to be on this one. Remember to like and subscribe if you like what you see, and we will catch you on the next one.